Oh no! Oh no! This is kind of dry. Okay. Just need to, this is the newer one too, darn it. I have in here. Oh, this one's older. It's probably drier. This is kind of dry, but it has more moisture on top. Let me try this. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's even worse. Oh no! I just dropped a big glob on my... Oh well, that mat's supposed to be black anyway. I will just see what I can do about this. You get a real view into my life as an artist with these sorts of issues. All right, this is going to take a lot more water just to get going there. Give it about a couple teaspoons. And then I'll be chopping away at this for a minute or two here. I had to do this sort of thing a few years back when I wanted to use my white. I had some white primer and some ivory primer. I wanted to use the white. Actually, it was only about a year or two ago. And I was using it to, I think I was changing an underpainting or taking a painting that had been done on the solid terracotta, and I wanted to redo it. So I wiped off most of it and then added some white primer. And I had to really mix up. I mean, the white was just so dry that I had to add just absolutely tons of water to it. You know, I might have to use the blue after all. I don't know how long this is going to take. Rest assured, I will speed this part up through the video, or skip most of it. I wonder if some kind of rubber seal stuck inside of these lids would keep the stuff better over periods of time if I'm not using it. If this doesn't mix up well enough, I'll probably just have to order more black. So occasionally I like to use it. I just haven't used this much lately because I've been so enchanted by that blue, how the blue looks on top of the terracotta. This is reminding me of peanut butter now. It's not really supposed to look like peanut butter. It's supposed to look like pudding.
If something's completely dried out, can you add water to that? No. Okay. Okay.
Because there's something about the acrylic polymer, when it dries, it kind of becomes permanent. Like it solidifies.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you can't like, water is not a solvent. It's just a hydrator. So there's got to still be some moisture left in there in order for this to work. And also another thing to keep in mind, if you have some of these primers and they're getting old, if you do this and you have to water it down like frequently or several times over the course of however long you have it for, the more water you add, the more it kind of gets less gritty. Kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but it'll lose some of its grit kind of power.
One trick I've found with mine is when the lids get stuck, which they do, is to run them under a hot tap, really hot water, and the hot water will release the lids. So you can unscrew them. And if you do just let your lids get stuck, it does seem to keep the primers from getting too, like the problem you've got today where they're really completely dried up. But you do have to live with the lids getting completely stuck on. But yeah, you can release them under the hot water when you go to use them, because they do get, I try and wipe mine around the edge, but they still get stuck no matter what I do. Yeah,
well, I've recently learned that if I put a piece of, like on this little jar, I've got a piece of plastic bag.
Oh, great idea.
stuck on there, and then you put the lid on, and look at this. Comes
Oh,
right
see,
off.
now that's smart.
Now I don't know I don't know how airtight that is. So, you know, this could be getting drier over time.
With the
This is not a very good jar anyway, but that really helps.
I'll have to try
That
that.
and not, you know, the habit I've had lately of not shaking my jar. I used to shake the jar and then use the primer off the lid. For expediency, I like doing that anyway. I still like doing that, but I've been training myself not to because the lids really get stuck. Instead, I've been dabbing some on a paper plate and cleaning my brush, and that's been helping the lids not get stuck. But
It's all more work, isn't it?
I know, it's like, you know, having to deal with, I mean, I love my underpainting technique, but this is still like paint, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like dealing with paint. That's why I'm a pastel artist. All right, this is starting to get a little better. Man, I think this jar was actually a fresh jar. I'm getting all this water almost up to the top now. Gotta be careful when I'm mixing this. I'm gonna spill it. You know, I bet if I had like, you know, I'm picturing like a cappuccino machine where you stick the cup under there and it goes zzz, and mixes it, whips it up. I need one of those out here for paint. I could just put a little bit of this into a cup and whip it up nice and smooth. Oh, I might have added too much water in that last dip. We'll see.
Rita, have you tried the Super Tooth Color Fix Primer?
I have not tried that yet. I think I have some. I have some of the clear Super Tooth somewhere in here. Oh, here it is, yeah.
Because you can use a bit of that to save a watery, if you put too much water in your primer, you can put a dollop of Super Tooth in to rescue a watery batch.
Oh, okay.
If you've made your jar too watery,
Okay.
just put a dollop of that in and it'll put the tooth back in it.
That's a good tip. Thank you.
Yeah, it can just add a bit more of the grit in.
Yeah, I bought the Super Tooth because I wanted to try and see what the difference was between that and the ordinary clear primer, the Art Spectrum Clear. Been doing a lot of experiments last year during all that mess of staying home, and I was trying to see if I would like the Art Spectrum Clear mixed with some stuff, using it as I use the Golden brand right now. I think this is pretty good now. It's much better. It's starting to look more like pudding. So I'll try some of that. Yeah. And I discovered that there was a little bit of a difference between the Art Spectrum Clear and the Golden Fine Pumice Gel, and I still preferred the Fine Pumice Gel. It's just a little grittier, I think, which is weird because it seems to me that it's very much like the colored Art Spectrum primers. I like those. So I just thought I would try the Super Tooth and see if, you know, if it had more grit. But then I never got around to it. So anyway, here we go with all right, back to the easel view. All right, so here we got some. It is a little bit goopy, but if I spread it well,